Alright, this rotation's perfect. Yeah, I got the whole mag dumped that time. It doesn't get better than that. Let's see. What? How did I do more damage last time and it was less scuffed? That's weird. What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about a DPS rotation that is about to be very, very strong, and I want to talk about the Wicked Sister GL that you can get from Zavala. You can focus these for only 1 engram and no glimmer, so this is by far the best time to do it. The engrams at Zavala will go away in the next episode. So if you have any laying around, you can just check it here or just go to the tower. But you can see I've turned all my stuff in except for a few gunsmith engrams. But anyways, you want to turn them in for this Wicked Sister. And I will talk about the roles that you want to go for. So one is auto-loading Cascade Point. This is great for ammo dumping and just high DPS. And then the other one is Envious Arsenal Bait and Switch. This is the god roll that we've seen on VS Chill Inhibitor, on Bittersweet, so it can also roll on Wicked Sister. This is better for total damage because you're getting a damage boost, and then Spike Grenades is really nice. Or you want Mini Frags, or there's one more that gives you 8 in the mag, Augmented Drum I believe it's called. So I actually have this on Cataphract, auto-loading Cascade Point and Spike Grenades, but I wanted to show some damage rotations with Wicked Sister. But before I get into the damage rotations, I just want to talk about the build that I'm using. So it's on Broodweaver. Oh, I guess before I get there, the other thing that you want to pair this with, especially if you're using Cascade Point, is Euphony. So this is the raid exotic from Salvation's Edge, so you may not have this. But anyways, linear fusion rifles are getting a plus 10% damage increase to all combatants in Heresy. I don't know if the Threadling damage will scale with that, but either way, the burst from this 3-round burst linear is going to be hitting 10% harder in like a week. So basically you pair Euphony with either auto-loading Cascade Point or Envious Bait and Switch, and then we run Sanguine Alchemy. Llama and Aegis have done big deep dives kind of on how this works, or at least Llama has. Aegis has shown it in some of his DPS rotations, but I'll just read it quickly. While standing in any rift, damaging a target will mark it. You deal extra damage to marked targets, that's 10% extra damage, and gain additional bonus damage with weapons that have a damage type matching your equipped super. Weapon final blows while standing in a rift, pause the rift's countdown, extending its duration. So this also works in a well, and it can just be a teammate's well. So again, in the background gameplay, you're going to be seeing me using it with my friend Baker's well, but I am getting the ×4 weapon surge boost. So even though I have ×3 weapon surge, this isn't needed. I could have done the same thing just because of Sanguine Alchemy and Baker's well. But what you want to do with this damage rotation is on Broodweaver, you run Needle Storm. Obviously, it's the only super. And then Threadling Grenades so that you can stack up Spindle. Then you've got Weave Walk. So what you do is you use one of your melees to get 5 Threadlings, and then that's going to perch 5 Threadlings. Then you have Weaver's Call, so when you cast out your class ability, you're sending a bunch of Threadlings toward the boss. So I think it's like 8 Threadlings in total, which will ramp up the Spindle damage of Euphony a lot. Then you have Thread of Evolution. Threadlings travel farther and deal additional damage. I think this is a 33% damage increase, so pretty significant. And then I just have, this one doesn't really matter, but this is nice if you're using this build for like things outside of DPS, as Strand Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create a Threadling. So you could make a Threadling with your GL or Euphony, and then that's just going to buff Euphony's damage. Then you have Thread of Ascent. Activating your grenade ability reloads your equipped weapon and grants bonus airborne effectiveness and handling for a short duration. This is great. The handling is nice because this is a swap rotation. And then reloading Euphony, this is perfect for. And then the last thing is Thread of Generation. You're going to be able to get more Threadling Grenades back as you're dealing damage. So this is a really, really good damage rotation. And like I said, it's getting a bit of a buff next episode because of the linear fusion buff. So that's basically how it works. So I've got some background footage of Autoloading Cascade Point and Envious Arsenal Bait and Switch, and they're pretty much the same. Autoloading Cascade Point, you need to shoot 3 Euphony shots before you can shoot, before the autoloading holster takes over and you can reshoot Cascade Point. You could also go Envious Arsenal and Cascade Point. I just didn't get lucky with that roll, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I wanted to show that autoloading can be also used with this rotation. However, you could also just shoot 2 Euphony shots and then chuck out an ability, and that extra little half a second to throw an ability will give you autoloading holster, and then you can shoot Cascade Point again. So either way, both of those rolls, those are the rolls that you're going to want to be looking for on Wicked Sister, and they're both great. And then you can see the Envious Arsenal Bait and Switch pretty much does like the exact same amount of damage. My damage rotations weren't necessarily perfect, but still, this puts out a ton of damage. So it's well worth getting one of these Wicked Sisters before the season changes. And then we also have a Prismatic setup. So once again, on Prismatic, you would want Needle Storm, you want Threadling Grenades, you want Hellion and Weaver's Call. So when you cast out your Rift, you're again going to send some Threadlings to buff your Euphony damage. And then Hellion is going to do some Ignition and Scorch damage as well to the boss as you're dealing damage. And if you pop Transcendence, you're getting a plus 5% weapon damage bonus. And then you can also run Facet of Command, where freezing or suppressing a target reloads your equipped weapon and increases weapon stability. So basically, when you pop Transcendence, your Freezing Singularity grenade will occasionally freeze the boss, and then that's going to reload either your GL or your Euphony, depending on what you have out at the time, because it's your equipped weapon. But either way, it makes a lot of sense to run. This rotation is pretty much the same amount of damage as the Strand one. It's just a little bit more ability spammy, so it's a bit better on ammo, and obviously it's on Prismatic, and Prismatic is juiced, so it'd probably be a bit better as a solo. But either way, you can run either build and they work great. Almost killing the Grasp Ogre in one phase, and honestly, if I had like a bit more optimal DPS, these weren't perfect runs. My buddy Baker had just hopped in to help me, and basically we just did 4 rotations, 2 on Prismatic, 2 on Strand, with one with the Envious Bait and Switch and one with the Autoloading Cascade for this video. So yeah, you could definitely, or potentially at least one phase this. And the other thing is Baker actually got this roll as soon as he was done helping me. Or he got one of the rolls, and he didn't even reset Zavala that much. So like I said, it's worth trying to get, and that's about it. So one other thing is Game to Give is live now. My friend TJ has set up a link, so if you're interested in donating and getting some cool emblems, please check that out. And other than that, I just wanted to give this PSA on getting a Wicked Sister before the end of the season, and also on this super fun and super powerful DPS build on Warlock. So if you found it helpful, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. Hey, if you're still here, then thanks so much for watching to the end. If you like what I do and you want to support me further, then consider becoming a channel member. You'll get your name featured on the end screen, custom badges, and other cool rewards. You can also join my community Discord if that interests you, and if you want to see me stream, be sure to follow me on Twitch at itstizzle7, where I stream semi-regularly. Those are linked in the description. Anyways, that's enough self-promotion. Thanks for watching. Take care.